3 people knew the full story. 2 of them never spoke publicly again. It is June 17, 1982. A body hangs beneath Blackfriars Bridge in London. He is found with bricks in his pockets and a ledger that points to Rome. He is Roberto Calvi, chairman of Banco Ambrosiano, once nicknamed God's banker for his closeness to the Vatican. The immediate consequence is simple and awful. A bank collapses, the Vatican Bank is dragged into the mud, and a secret society's name propaganda becomes a weapon. Italy in the 1970s and early 1980s is a country on edge. The Cold War has seeded paralyzing fear of a communist takeover. Political murder and bombings proliferate during the Anni di Piombo, the years of lead. Secret services operate with impunity. Into that vacuum step shadowy figures. Licio Gelli, the Mason who ran Propaganda Do, P2, Michele Sindona, a Sicilian banker with mafia ties, and Roberto Calvi, a financier who moved money for popes, politicians, and criminals alike. Michele Sindona built fortunes and enemies through the 1960s and 1970s. He is convicted in the United States for fraud in 1974, but he keeps moving money through blind trusts and offshore accounts. According to court records and witness testimony, Sindona corrupted judges, bought silence, and placed allies inside institutions. Giorgio Ambrosoli, a Milanese lawyer appointed liquidator of Sindona's failing banks, began to unravel the web in 1979. Ambrosoli filed dossiers. He named names. On July 11, 1979, Ambrosoli was shot dead on a Milan street. Investigators later linked the murder to hitmen with mafia connections. Prosecutors alleged Sindona ordered the killing. But what investigators found next would change everything. In March 1981, police searching Licio Gelli's Villa Wanda in Arezzo seized a roster. Nearly 1,000 names of military officers, magistrates, industrialists, and intelligence figures who were part of P2. The list included generals, television executives, and men in the corridors of power. Parliamentary commissions called it a shadow government. Documents and later declassified files showed P2 had infiltrated the presidency of the Republic, the armed forces, and the secret services. The exposure detoured attention onto Banco Ambrosiano and the Vatican's Istituto per l'Opera di Religione, IWAR. By mid-1982, the paper trail converged on Calvi. Banco Ambrosiano had moved billions through offshore companies. According to court records and banking audits, money flowed into accounts tied to the Vatican Bank and to shell companies with mafia links. Calvi had been the public face of a private catastrophe. Then he was found in London, under Blackfriars Bridge, his clothes wet, his pockets heavy. British pathologists first called it suspicious. Italian magistrates later reopened the case. Prosecutors argued homicide. Friends and enemies offered competing theories: suicide driven by impending ruin, or execution to silence a man who knew too much. The fallout spread outward. In Italy, a parliamentary inquiry into P2 and its ties to banks and secret services followed. Licio Gelli was arrested, interrogated, and never fully explained how a private Masonic Lodge acquired lists that read like a government directory. Michele Sindona, already convicted in Italy for the murder of Ambrosoli and other crimes, was extradited back from the United States. On March 20, 1986, Sindona was found dead in his cell at Santo Stefano prison. He had ingested potassium cyanide lodged in a pill. Officials called it suicide. Prosecutors and journalists called it convenient silence. Trials shuffled through the courts for decades. Italian judges eventually declared Calvi was murdered. Mafia figures and businessmen were tried in absentia. The Vatican endured scandal, suspended bishops, and presided over quiet inquiries. Yet the core question, who pulled the threads and why, never received a single, unambiguous answer. Some documents remained sealed. Some witnesses recanted. Names disappeared from public life. The almost unbelievable details linger. A Masonic membership list with nearly 1,000 names. A banker called God's banker, found hanging on a London bridge with concrete in his pockets. A convicted financier dying from cyanide in a high-security prison. They are facts recorded in court files, in autopsy reports, in the printed rosters of P2. The country changed. Laws were passed to restrict secret lodges. Parliamentary commissions forced resignations. Yet many of the institutions implicated kept their power. Some men who walked the halls of influence lived out their lives without fully explaining how the money, the murderers, and the Masonic network fit together. In the end, the three people who could have told everything, a liquidator who named names, a banker who moved the money, and a grandmaster who kept the list, left only fragments. Two of them never spoke publicly again, and the ledger of a lodge still feels like a map with whole neighborhoods blacked out. Who ordered the hangings and the poisonings? Who finally benefited when the money vanished? The files hold clues. The answers do not.